I want to bring in our National Affairs Editor, Rahul Srivastava, into this conversation. You know, Rahul, the Prime Minister's done it every time. Be it 2017, I still remember he walked the last final 100 meters, his entire security in a tizzy. He's done the same thing now, going and visiting his brother. You know, all cameras on him. Understandably, the opposition once again is going to say this is violation of EC norms.
You see, Preeti, there is a grey area. I think between always the law operates between the lines. You see, there is no stopping anybody walking in a polling booth or walking out. Now, if it becomes a campaign, then it's a different story altogether. Now, if you recall, a few years back, the Prime Minister, in fact, rode a jeep also.
True.
And even that was interpreted as an attempt to campaign. Definitely. See, a political person, when he walks, especially with the SPG security, the area is sanitized. So the walking has a meaning. As you were just now talking to Saurabh, there is nothing called sudden visit by the Prime Minister. Nothing. It can never happen.
True.
Because the Prime Minister's arrival, before it, there has to be a certain degree of security sanitization. So if he has gone to his brother's place, there must have been a certain amount of security check there. But yes, definitely, if there is an advantage a walk from the polling booth or to the polling booth provides in terms of votes. See, you can see that Prime Minister meeting people on his way out. And this
that's
could
a
well
local
be,
candidate, yeah.
This could well be because candidates can be there, the voter can be there. And see, this is the belt where the BJP wants to improve its numbers. Remember, in the first phase, the polling percentage has dipped. And that's one worrying element for the BJP because lesser numbers in this segment. Because here, where the BJP has its caste element as well as the communal polarization element slightly more worked out than the south and southern and Saurashtra part, here the BJP needs those little pushes and nudges that the Prime Minister's visit like this would be providing.
Well, Mahima Singh from the Congress is with us. I'm sure you're not taking this kindly.
Well, Preeti, it's not about whether we are taking it kindly or not. It is certainly about the ethics and the ethos of an election. It is very clear, as your editor also pointed out right now, that walking down to the polling booth certainly may not be taken as a campaign, but waving at the people, you know, exchanging glimpses with the people in that particular manner is certainly what is a breach of model code of conduct. But we are not surprised. We are not surprised because this is nothing new to the culture of the BJP. BJP is in a perpetual election mode only. All the ministers, the Prime Minister himself are out of their offices in Delhi where they should be looking after the policy making and the country's needs. They are on the ground of the Gujarat. One can sense the insecurity. One can see how petrified they are. The very walking down of the Prime Minister to the polling booth and the whole conduct actually, I have to say that reeks of fear to me, to my party, because that's what we have seen. Shahji actually,
it might reek of fear to your party, it might reek of fear to a certain sect, but to a lot of people where Ahmedabad is concerned, it also might reek of abject adulation. And you can't deny that because the Prime Minister enjoys that unprecedented support.
Well, then that's got to be ignorance, because one has to know that this is a democracy and there is a certain code of conduct we have in place. And we can't function with that amount of ignorance. One has to realize that in the past few days, the incidences we've seen, with Shahji...
All right, Mahima Singh, your party is free to file and complain with the Election Commission, and I'm sure, you know, somebody will do it, but just stay on with us. What I'm going to do is, as the Prime Minister has gone to his brother's residence, he's gone to meet his brother. The entire walk, at least, like what our reporters are saying, must be scheduled, but of course the press had absolutely no idea what he was doing. The last 100 meters, walking to the polling booth, waving out to the crowds with chants of Modi, you see that right there. Then walking inside the polling booth, casting his vote, and then walking 300 meters, not getting into the car, but walking from the polling booth to his brother's residence in Ranip. While we stay on with these visuals, as the Prime Minister is still inside his brother's residence, I want to take you now. It's just not Ranip booth or Ahmedabad, which is voting today, viewers. Two major regions in Gujarat going to polls spread across 14 districts, 93 seats. Devankur Vadhavan joins us from Mehsana, which is up north. Traditionally, Mehsana is also, where the Prime Minister traces his roots from. Vadgaon there, but Pankaj Upadhyay also joins us from Godhra. Milan Sharma continues to be with us from Naranpura in Ahmedabad. That's where Amit Shah would be casting his vote. They take us through the seats in the north. Extremely important for the BJP to change the dynamic there. When it came down to 2017, 18 of those 32 constituencies were won by the Congress, only 14 by the BJP.
Well, North Gujarat, where we are right now, Preeti, has been traditionally a stronghold of the Congress, as you two mentioned. But in Mehsana, there are 7 assembly seats. And in these 7 assembly seats, it's the BJP which has traditionally been, have had the upper hand. There are several interesting contests within the larger picture, which one can get to see today, Preeti. One is the Viramgam seat, where Hardik Patel is contesting. Now, Hardik Patel is an ex-Congress person. He is currently contesting on the BJP ticket. Now, how do the partidars react to Hardik Patel switching sides? He had been indulging in a lot of name-calling initially, earlier on, but now he's a BJP candidate. So how will that fare? Now, that particular seat has had the Congress's stamp on it for the last 2 assembly, elections. But this time round, Hardik Patel maintains that there will be a tough contest and that he will emerge victorious. The other seat is, the Viramgam seat, the Vadgaon seat. On the Vadgaon seat, Preeti, Jignesh Mevani of the Congress is contesting that. Another is another
Banaskantha, not from Mehsana, Banaskantha, right, Dave?
No, I'm talking about Jignesh Mevani. Jignesh Mevani is contesting from Vadgaon. That is a part of Mehsana, Preeti. Now, there are 7 assembly constituencies in total in Mehsana itself. Now, in all of those seats, earlier the BJP had its stronghold, but Nitin Bhai Patel has not been given the ticket. But what the BJP has done, it has, instead of giving ticket to Nitin Bhai Patel, it has given tickets to several of its close associates.